Well, tonight we heard from the President of the United States what was one of the most inspiring challenges to the country, and a list of successes, frankly, unprecedented over a 2-year period under his leadership. Now, the never-Trumpers were wrong. The mainstream media was and is wrong. Democrats were wrong. And 2 years into the Trump presidency, the state of our great country, our union, is incredibly strong, getting better every day. The president has governed, as I told you he would, as a conservative. He has kept his promises. He listed them tonight. He has upheld the principles that have made this the greatest, freest, most prosperous country on earth, as those of us that knew him said he would. For Trump, it's not about Republican or Democrat. It is about we, the people, the United States of America. Take a look.
The decision is ours to make. We must choose between greatness or gridlock, results or resistance, vision or vengeance, incredible progress or pointless destruction. Tonight, I ask you to choose greatness. The agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda or a Democrat agenda. It's the agenda of the American people.
I ask you to choose greatness, an agenda for America, and now we're all reaping many of the benefits. Let's watch this.
In just over 2 years since the election, we have launched an unprecedented economic boom, a boom that has rarely been seen before. There's been nothing like it. We have created 5.3 million new jobs and, importantly, added 600,000 new manufacturing jobs, something which almost everyone said was impossible to do. Nearly 5 million Americans have been lifted off food stamps. Unemployment has reached the lowest rate in over half a century. African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment have all reached their lowest levels ever recorded. More people are working now than at any time in the history of our country. 157 million people at work.
5.3 million new jobs, 600,000 new jobs in the manufacturing sector alone, jobs we were told were never coming back. The economy is breaking records and hitting on all cylinders, despite a constant stream of what is pure hatred from the hate Trump media, their allies in the Democratic Party. Look at this new poll from Rasmussen showing the president's approval rating at a strong 48%. It is no accident. Halfway through his first term, President Trump's pro-growth, conservative, pro-energy, low-regulation policies are kicking this country into high gear and righting America's ship after what were 8 long, disastrous economic years under Obama. Now, we saw the lowest labor participation rate in those 8 years since the 1970s. 95 million Americans out of the workforce, the worst recovery since the 40s, and stagnant GDP growth. The only president never to hit 3%. That was Obama. Instead of imposing strict government controls, new government programs like his predecessor, President Trump, in less than 2 years now, has given power back to you, the American people, and he has opened up freedom and liberty and unleashed American greatness once again. In 2 short years, the president has signed a record historic low tax cut. He's ended hundreds of burdensome government regulations, opened up oil and natural gas expansion, approved new pipelines. We are now energy independent and the world's largest producer of oil and natural gas. He has also negotiated new trade deals that benefit America with Mexico, Canada, and for the first time in many years, manufacturing jobs are back with a vengeance. And let's not forget the president nominated, and he confirmed, 2 highly qualified, originalist, conservative Supreme Court justices who will uphold our constitutional values for decades to come. Dozens of other original federal judges have also been confirmed. The president signed sweeping new criminal justice legislation into law. Little Rocket Man is no longer firing rockets over the Sea of Japan. Our hostages are home. The remains of our soldiers from the 50s are now back. A new summit is now scheduled for February 27th in Vietnam. China's economy is now feeling the heat with new trade restrictions. Russia is being held in check with a series of sanctions. The U.S. Embassy in Israel has been relocated to Jerusalem, something so many other presidents promised and never delivered on, and ISIS on the run. Needless to say, it has been a very busy and productive 2 years. Now, despite this tremendous success, Democrats in attendance at tonight's State of the Union may seem pretty miserable. Grimacing, scowling, sitting on their hands, refusing to stand up, applaud the historically strong state of our union. Remember, after 8 years of Obama's economy, we had 13 million more Americans on food stamps, 8 million more in poverty, and now we have 5 million fewer people on food stamps and many millions out of poverty, and refusing to give President Trump credit for anything. Meanwhile, what are the Democrats offering you, we, the people? Higher taxes, judicial obstruction, open borders, eliminating ICE. They want to keep the disaster of Obamacare, endless investigation into the president, an insane quest for impeachment. It is literally part of the party of hate. Hate Trump every second, every minute, every hour of every day. And to them, well, we saw this with immigration. We saw the things that they stood for just a few short years ago. Hating Trump is more important than helping the American people and doing their job. To them, that's more important than what? Protecting our citizens with border security that we so desperately need. Watch this.
This is a moral issue. The lawless state of our southern border is a threat to the safety, security, and financial well-being of all America. Tonight, I am asking you to defend our very dangerous southern border out of love and devotion to our fellow citizens and to our country. Wealthy politicians and donors push for open borders while living their lives behind walls and gates and guards. Working-class Americans are left to pay the price for mass illegal immigration. Tolerance for illegal immigration is not compassionate. It is actually very cruel.
Now think about this. How many in the hate Trump media or Democratic Party said this is a manufactured crisis? All right, the last 2 years, ICE officers, they made 266,000 arrests of criminal aliens, including those charged or convicted. Nearly 100,000 assaults, 30,000 sex crimes, 4,000 murders, homicides. That's why, well, not so long ago, former President Obama, he sounded an awful lot like President Trump, as did Schumer, as did many of the Democrats. Now they oppose that which they supported just a couple of years ago. You may remember this.
We do have to have control of our borders. You've got to say to the undocumented workers, you have to say, look, you've broken the law. You didn't come here the way you were supposed to. So this is not going to be a free ride. It's not going to be some instant amnesty. What's going to happen is you are going to pay a significant fine. You are going to learn English. You are going to go to the back of the line so that you don't get ahead of somebody who was in Mexico City applying legally.
So President Obama, they sound alike. So what's changed for the Democrats? President Trump is in office. Now they just oppose him with every fiber of their being. I thought they cared about dreamers and DACA and furloughed employees. Hating Trump comes before protecting the security and the safety of the American people. It comes before spurring economic growth, finding solutions for the dreamers they talk so much about. It was offered to them. The results are sad. President Trump put it perfectly when he tweeted, quote, Democrats are becoming the party of late-term abortion, high taxes, open borders, and crime. But tonight, the president is vowing to fight back to protect the lives of those who are the most vulnerable. A powerful moment. Let's take a look.
Lawmakers in New York cheered with delight upon the passage of legislation that would allow a baby to be ripped from the mother's womb moments from birth. These are living, feeling, beautiful babies who will never get the chance to share their love and their dreams with the world. And then we had the case of the governor of Virginia, where he stated he would execute a baby after birth. To defend the dignity of every person, I am asking Congress to pass legislation to prohibit the late-term abortion of children who can feel pain in the mother's womb.
Powerful moment. And the president also made it perfectly clear, America will never become, now think about this, even Nancy and Chuck had to stand up. Not sure that Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez liked it. We will never become a socialist country. Watch this.
Here in the United States, we are alarmed by the new calls to adopt socialism in our country. America was founded on liberty and independence, and not government coercion, domination, and control. We are born free, and we will stay free. Tonight, we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country.
Democrats, what were they offering? Oh, they want a wealth tax, and then they want more death taxes, and maybe a 70% income tax, maybe a 90% one. Oh, that'll bring us right back to what Obama gave us, 13 million more Americans on food stamps, 8 million more in poverty, the accumulation of more debt than every other president before him combined. For them, it appears just about political quest for power, revenge, government control of energy and health care and every aspect of your life, so they stay in power. But for President Trump, this is much more than politics. It's about preserving fundamental core principles and keeping the promises he made to protect this country, an oath that he gave, bettering the lives of all Americans, getting government off our backs, unleashing American greatness for decades and centuries to come, using the principles of freedom and liberty and capitalism.